I'm invisible. Get it?
Hello?
The Invisible Man is directed by Leigh Whannell and is the newest reboot of the famous H.G. Wells novel turned Universal monster movie. It stars Elizabeth Moss as Cecilia, a woman who recently escaped an incredibly abusive relationship with Adrian Griffin, a wealthy pioneer in optics. And when Adrian kills himself and leaves her his fortune, Cecilia becomes convinced that she's being stalked by someone that no one can see. An invisible man, if you will. Okay, that was fun, but I'm not going to do the whole video like that. Leigh Whannell is a fantastic director. His two directing endeavors thus far, Insidious Chapter 3 and Upgrade, were nothing short of great. But tackling a remake of a classic sci-fi monster movie is no easy feat. Thankfully, the Dark Universe fell apart and gave Blumhouse the opportunity to swoop in and pick up the rights to this character. Good thing too, because otherwise we would have gotten Johnny Depp as the Invisible Man, and he would have been starring alongside Tom Cruise and a bunch of other big-named actors in some sort of weird horror Avengers, and it would have been a mess. I digress, and I'll put it as simply as I can. This movie is phenomenal. The Invisible Man is not only one of the best films I've seen so far this year, but it's a film that I really can't find anything I didn't like about. It's been so long since I've seen a horror movie as intense and as thrilling as this one is, and even longer since I've seen a movie that's made me physically sweat as much as this one did. Everything about it is fantastic, from the pacing, to the acting, to the cinematography, to the script, and it only goes to show Whannell's incredible talent as a filmmaker. As far as pacing goes, I would actually call this movie perfect. From scene one, it thrusts you into this nightmarishly intense scenario of Cecilia trying to escape from her abusive boyfriend in the middle of the night, and the tension never once lets up from there. Even after Adrian's supposed suicide, you can still feel his presence haunting her everywhere she goes, and that's partially due to an incredible performance by Elizabeth Moss, but also because of the brilliant pacing of this film and the way Whannell operates the camera and methodically paces out every single second of this movie to increase the dread tenfold. The first two acts of this film are a creepingly slow burn, but they're never once boring. They're just crafted to put you into Cecilia's headspace, never feeling safe for even a second, and slowly ratcheting up the tension as the Invisible Man's actions get more threatening and violent. It starts out with little things. Blankets moving, little noises around the house. The sound design is impeccable and really helps to immerse you in that environment. But it gets more and more extreme as the movie goes on, with unnerving silent scares, creeping dread, and one of the most shocking death scenes I've witnessed since Hereditary. All until we reach the film's third act, where the intensity hits an all-time high, and things get absolutely insane and inventive and action-packed and fun as hell to watch. There's a lot of Upgrade-style camera work to be found in the action-heavy third act, especially a scene involving the massacre of some cops in a hospital. And honestly, it's a thing of beauty. Elizabeth Moss carries this film. She's asked to give so much for this role, and she never misses a single emotional beat. Cecilia is a survivor of some really intense abuse, and all of Moss's body language really helps to sell that and really makes you believe that she's been through the ringer. And when the gaslighting starts, you really feel so terrible for her. You want the people around her to believe her, not only because of the fact that you're in the same world that she is and experiencing what she's experiencing, but also because of her incredible chemistry with Storm Reed and Aldous Hodge. The scenes between these three characters are so charming and naturalistic, and I really applaud the hell out of Leigh Whannell's script for making them all feel so endearing and helping make this friendship between them feel so real. But let's talk about the Invisible Man himself. Because it says a lot when a film is able to take something that neither you nor any of the characters on screen can see and make it feel threatening. And a big part of that is in this film's editing and camera work. This movie utilizes very few cuts and makes a lot of use of very wide shots and a lot of negative space. There are shots specifically framed to look like there's more than one person in them, even though there isn't. So as an audience member, you're constantly looking at that one spot where another character should be standing, and just from that, you know exactly where the Invisible Man himself is standing. It draws your attention to where you should be looking, and as a result, you're staring right at that spot and noticing the little things happening in the background that he's doing to fuck with Cecilia. It also does a really good job at making you think twice about whether or not you're alone in a room. When your door's open and you're staring out into that dark hallway, is there someone there? I went downstairs to get a glass of water last night in the middle of the night, and I felt genuinely unsettled after this movie, and that's saying something. There's a lot to be said about where we currently stand in our society and the reluctance to believe women when they speak up about trauma, and because of that, I mean, this movie came out at a perfect time. On that merit alone, it succeeds in spades and delivers one of the most incredibly satisfying conclusions I've witnessed in a film in a long time. But even separately of that, it's a really intense, thrilling movie that's crafted expertly, and I think everyone should see it. It's an incredible film, and it's one I'm going to be revisiting many times in the future. I'm going to say that The Invisible Man is a genre masterpiece. I've been a fan of Leigh Whannell for a bit, but I think and I hope that this is what puts him on the map for most people. I seriously can't recommend it enough, and if Leigh Whannell wants to remake every single Universal monster movie, I say we let him, because this is a great start. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this channel and you want to see more, click down there, like, comment, subscribe. There's a Patreon link down in the description. If you want to donate, check it out. Be like all these cool people right here. There's a bunch of cool new reward tiers. Anything from early access to special videos, like the one I just put up, to special access to my private Discord server, to me sending gifts right to your door once a month. If any of that interests you, please consider donating. Even $1 would help. I'd really appreciate it. But even if you don't, thank you so much for watching anyway, and I'll see you all very soon.
There you are.